Okay, Heidi, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
So what's going on?
Just been a bit stressed.
You're stressed?
Yes, I have a lot going on. Just like a lot of presentations, a lot of school stuff that I just don't think I've caught up to this new school yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been here. This is my first semester at the new college, and there's just a lot of work that I feel like they didn't have all that at my other college, and I think it might be because I'm taking evening classes at the new college, and the class is only like once a week, wherefore at the other college, the classes were all throughout the day, and they were like twice or three times a week. So we didn't have as much homework and as much stuff going on. And
So it seemed easier at your other school because,
I wouldn't say easier. I think, like the homework itself and the content wasn't always easy, but just I think workload.
yeah. So the workload is the biggest difference.
Workload is
And the workload
biggest
is the biggest stressor for you at this school.
at this. Yes, definitely. Like I really feel like I couldn't even. I don't know how people do it that have jobs. I mean, I have my son and my fiance, and our house is a mess.
That's a
and
job, though. I mean,
I can't keep up. There's no keeping up.
it's a
And-
job to run a household.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I think I had high expectations coming in. Like, I was like, oh, I'll start school and I'll, clean and do the housework during the day, and then I'll go to class at evening, and then I'll have time to, just knock out my homework real quick. When it's not like that at all. Like, I wake up, take my son to school. He's gonna be at school at like 7:30, so I come straight home and I might get a cup of coffee and breakfast and watch one TV show, and then I'm literally like in books all day, like all the way up until it's time to head out the door for class.
wow.
And it's just like never ending. I feel like I can't breathe.
So with all of the stress, do you have any outlets for it besides your breakfast and coffee in one show? Is there anything else that you get to do, like on weekends or the nights you don't have class?
On weekends, I feel bad because they're just days where I just want to like lay around and watch TV. And in all reality, the weekends is normally when I have time to catch up on laundry and dishes. And every now and then I'll get really lucky and I'll go home and the dishes will be done. And I love them, but I pull dishes out of the cupboard and they're still dirty.
Oh,
So it's just like I want to get mad and angry and say, really, if you're gonna, do the dishes,
kind
can
of
you
a-
make them clean? But it's more. I feel like it's more work on top of it. But at the same time, I don't really want to say anything because he's trying, and
So-
that's a lot for a guy. So
right, you can give him credit for what
yeah,
he does.
I want to give him credit, but at
it's
the same
still-
time, I'm like,
Kind of disappointing
yeah.
that he's not, like, oh, he's making an effort, but not making an effort.
Yeah. And then I get stressed and I'll pull the dish out and I feel bad because I've made comments like, it's not even clean, and I'll just sit it back in the sink, and I know he notices.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel horrible. And then there's not really support on his end because he's like, well, I go to work all day and I get called in all the time. So, there's no
What does he do?
understand. He's an engineer.
He gets called in to...
He gets called in for every little thing, like maintenance at his job is just...
So the plant must run 24 hours a
The
day.
plant runs 24 hours a
Wow.
day, and he has been working like every weekend. So
Wow.
it's been nonstop. Like, he wanted to go out to eat last night, and I was trying to study yesterday, But he wanted to go out to eat because he's working all weekend. So
Right.
and then I had my father and then my son at the house this weekend as well. So it was.
Oh, wow. So you had a full house.
Yeah. And
Did you feel like that added to your stress, or
it did.
did it?
It did. And he doesn't want my son to go to my father's on the weekend because my son seems like every time he comes home, he reverts my dad babies him a lot.
Oh.
So he plays my dad to where my dad will give him whatever he wants and act like a spoiled little kid because grandpa will do it for him.
Right.
And so his idea was, let's have, your dad come here if he wants to see him. That way we're not taking away. But he was
Kinda
at work.
supervise Grandpa
Yeah.
a little bit too, huh?
Supervising grandpa a little, but he was at work all weekend.
So you had to do it by yourself. There wasn't.
So I got to deal with it, and grandpa still managed to sneak, junk food and everything. So
Oh,
it
gosh.
didn't really make a difference, and Skylar was still acting like a big baby because grandpa was there. So it just,
Oh, gosh.
it's nonstop. It's like either way, but I told him, I pretty much just asked him, I know you feel like Skylar isn't getting any better when he goes to Grandpa, but for my sanity, can you please go to Grandpa's next weekend? Because I feel like, I love my son, don't get me wrong, but sometimes I still feel like a single mom because he's always working, and when he's not working, I'm at school. So it's, there's no...
Kind of feel like you're taking on both roles that way.
Yes.
And that's a lot.
Yes.
That feels really heavy to you.
Yes. Yes, and the sad thing is I don't think he understands. I think he honestly thinks I just lay around all day when I don't.
Sometimes I wonder, until they're in the situation, do they truly understand what you're doing every day?
Right?
That seems like it's hard.
Yeah. And I just, I feel bad for saying, school's going to be the death of me. Like, the school's going to be the death of me. But I feel like that sometimes. But at the same time...
You feel like that because it's so stressful? Like,
Because
it's like you can't breathe? Or
It is, like, I just feel like I can't get a break. Like, when my sister calls, and she calls, like, every day, I just, I don't want to be mean to her, but at the same time, I'm like... I need to study. You got to get off the phone, and she calls about stupid stuff. It's not.
So that's kind of adding in there too, huh?
Leave me alone.
Wow.
But, yeah, and I just laugh. I laugh it all off because